This is Nick DeMarco for Chapter 8. I'm at the Charlotte Airport, so I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible before getting yelled at for not having my mask on in an airport. I'm going to do the list the key sources of individual differences in learnings. So the book lists the 6 major categories as physiology, morphology, aptitudes, needs, temperament or personality, and attitudes. And so some examples of this: physiology, right? So if somebody's got a higher VO2 max, for example, they may be able to practice longer than somebody who's not, and therefore that person may learn faster because they're able to put in more work at an activity or skill than somebody whose physiology just simply doesn't allow them to. Morphology is talking about your anthropomorphics, and so for this I think of like people who are just naturally built well for deadlift. They've got long arms, short torsos, and rather than those people with a long torso and short arms, that bar has to travel a lot further, and so they may pick up certain movements like the deadlift with the person with long arms faster than those who have different anthropomorphics or morphology. Aptitudes, this is like kind of that innate ability, and that goes back to the nurture versus nature kind of thing. So maybe perhaps the skills and life experiences that you were given to as a kid helps you later on down the line. I think of this, my grandparents had a cabin on a lake, and so I grew up swimming a lot, and so water sports and everything like that came to me really easily later in life. And so it's not necessarily that I was born to be a great swimmer, but it's that aptitude that I have, an innate ability to learn that type of things, probably more nurture than it was nature. Needs. This is a great example again for Olympic weightlifting. We'd talk about why maybe the United States isn't as competitive in Olympic weightlifting as, say, countries like Bulgaria, especially back in the 80s. And it's because here in America, we have options and choice, whereas in Bulgaria, if you want to feed your family and that government puts a lot of high value on the Olympics, your need to be good at Olympic weightlifting goes up because that's how you're going to feed your family, right? So their needs are directly influencing how quickly they learn because that's directly related to the health of their family. Temperament or personality, if you're somebody that gets really defensive or doesn't take criticism very easily, you may block out your coach who's trying to give you valuable cues. And then finally, attitude. So if you show up with a positive attitude and you don't get discouraged and you think that you can do it, then you're probably going to learn faster than those who have a negative attitude towards their learning and their training. I didn't get yelled at. Thanks.